Tariq here, guys, back with another banger. I'm going to give you guys 3 stocks to buy in September 2025. Let's keep it simple, guys. I'll give you guys the top 3 plays that you're going to need to take a look at before this potential interest rate cut coming on September 17th, guys. So we have interest rate coming on September 17th, and then we have PPI and CPI data coming out in the week before that. You need to start placing your bets as we move into Q4. There's going to be a lot of money flushing around, okay? Basically, the Fed wants us to invest in risk assets. So when lowering those interest rates, people are going to chase gains instead of yield because yields are coming down, okay? And the Fed fund rate right now is sitting at 4.3, so we get like a 25 basis point cut, 50 basis point cut, something like that. We're going to probably continue to see this number come down. Now, some analysts has projected 2 rate cuts, some 3. We don't know, but we're pretty sure we're going to get at least 1. So it's really, really important, guys, to kind of line up your ducks right now or where you're going to be investing for Q4. You want to start doing it in September. And why in September? Because September is historically the worst month for stocks. So where people are selling, you are buying. Now, it's kind of funny because some of the best months are coming right ahead. And that is especially true not only for stocks, guys, but for crypto as well. Rate cuts will help both stocks and crypto. But for this video, we're going to be talking about stocks. I'll probably make a separate video for crypto as well for September. So let's get right into the meat of the content, guys. If you guys enjoy this content, please smash the like button as well. It really helps. So let's get right into it. The first stock on my list, guys, let's type it out. Number 1. Okay, now this play here is you know, if you guys been following my channel for any time, you guys are probably gonna know which stock I'm gonna pick here. But there's just so many positive catalysts, okay, piling up, right? Okay, MSTR on the Nasdaq, okay. MSTR, guys. MSTR is strategy, okay. This is my favorite play. Okay, this is my favorite play in September. I'm going to tell you why. MSTR's best months are October and November. They have the best returns. They have the largest Bitcoin stash, okay, on Wall Street. They have over 600,000 Bitcoin, right? They are well leveraged with a good debt to Bitcoin equity ratio of just 11, which means they can easily cover their debts. They're in very low chance of going bankrupt. And the company has outperformed nearly every other stock in the S&P 500, okay, since inception, since they started buying Bitcoin in August 2020. Saylor posted this on X, okay, this post got over 1 million impressions. You can see here, Bitcoin is MSTR has outperformed Bitcoin, the S&P 500, and basically bonds and basically real estate, basically everything, okay, since Saylor started adopting a strategy. So the returns are there. It's been the best. It's been the strongest. And that's because it's backed by Bitcoin. Now, there is a lot of negative sentiment about MSTR, okay? The price is not performed that well year to date, okay? So we take a look here, year to date, you know, MSTR is not done so well. It's only up 13% year to date. But you know, if you take a look here on the yearly chart, I like to use the exponential moving average sometimes to develop a long-term 200-day trend line. And I really think that the shares have bottomed, okay? I think the shares have bottomed, and that presents a wonderful buying opportunity. Okay, now this stock has been absolutely beaten down by naysayers. It's been beaten down by you know, short sellers. It's been beaten down by, you know, Ethereum bulls. It's been beaten down by everybody that's either anti-Bitcoin or just doesn't want to see Michael Saylor succeed. And I think this creates a unique buying opportunity. So this is not financial advice, but, you know, I've been holding MSTR stock for almost 5 years. And I just noticed that every time there's like every time the stock kind of approaches the 200-day EMA, it runs, and that's been the case for quite some time. It tapped again here, it started running. So, you know, I just feel like there's a lot of built up momentum in MSTR where it's just bound to fly. Tom Lee over at Fundstrat, he just went on CNBC and said Bitcoin's going to 200K. I mean, if Bitcoin hits 200K, how much will MSTR be worth? I don't know. But I do know that based on its Bitcoin reserves and based on its Bitcoin per share and based on Bitcoin yield and things like that, I think this is a fantastic long-term investment. And I think it's even a better investment for a swing trade to potentially profit from Bitcoin's strong historical Q4 movement. Bitcoin is up 84% on average in Q4 and the median of 52%. So the strongest quarter for Bitcoin is approaching. I think holding MicroStrategy, maybe even delving into some MicroStrategy options. So because the fourth quarter is the best for strategy stock, I think holding MSTR or MSTR options is a great rate of profit. And I just think here the price is too cheap. The MNAV is getting lower, and people are getting impatient. They're complaining on social media. This is a great buying opportunity in my opinion. So my number one pick, MSTR. My price target for the end of September. Okay, it really depends on what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin was strong last September. I think the interest rate cut in September 17th is the main big catalyst we're looking at. I believe a lot of people want to borrow money to buy Bitcoin, but they're also looking to buy Bitcoin right before October, which is historically the strongest month for Bitcoin. Bitcoin historically is up 21% in October. Bitcoin hasn't had a red month in October since 2028. So I think holding MSTR, I think, is kind of a no-brainer right now, and it's my number one play on the list. Okay, now my second pick on this list of 3 best stocks to buy. Try to keep this concise and to the point. My second pick on the list is BMNR. So very similar, okay, very similar to MSTR in terms of we're staying in the crypto realm, but now we're switching from Bitcoin to Ethereum. So BMNR is the largest corporate holder of Ethereum, okay, on Wall Street. They have over 2 million Ethereum. So they kind of copied the Michael Saylor playbook and basically just tried to create a Ethereum treasury using, ETH instead of Bitcoin, right, to copy Michael Saylor. That's done quite well, okay. The stock is up a ton this year, all right. Let's see, right off the top of my head, I believe it's up, I don't know, it's up a lot. Okay, is it up it's up 500%. So that's worked well for the company. And I still believe it's cheap. So I actually think that BMNR could approach $400 simply because there is some short interest and there's a lot of excitement over Ethereum. We all know Bitcoin's already pretty expensive, but Ethereum is much cheaper. It's still under 5K as of publishing this video. And there are many people that think Ethereum could go to $10,000, $15,000, during the Q4. So I think if you're not going to be in MSTR, you need to get some exposure to BMNR. It's the second best choice. I would say if I had a choice, I'd probably just go with MSTR because they have Bitcoin. But if you're not going to get if you're not going to be buying any exposure to Bitcoin, you need exposure to Ethereum because that's the second best altcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin's obviously the largest cryptocurrency, and Ethereum's the second largest cryptocurrency. And BMNR, man, I really think earlier this year it was just insane, right? The stock went from $4 to $150, so it has that explosive nature that I like to see when I'm investing in a company. And right around the corner, Ethereum, once again, another cryptocurrency that has performed quite well, in Q4 compared to Q3. So Q3 is the worst quarter for crypto in general. Q4 is done much better. Ethereum has been up every quarter except 2022, which was the bear market, since 2020. So good returns over the last 2020, good returns, 2021, 2023, and 2024. So Ethereum's been doing well. So if Ethereum does well, BMNR stock is going to do well as well too, guys. And for my third and final pick, this is not a crypto related play, guys. This is a play that is going to play on interest rates and loan activity, specifically AI loan activity. And that pick is Upstart, ticker symbol USPT. So why do I like Upstart? Well, this has nothing to do with crypto. This is simply a play based on interest rates. So I want to kind of bring up Upstart's graph, previous chart here of this stock, and I want to kind of give you guys an illustration of what took place. So we got to look at the all-time graph here on Upstart. Upstart stock approached as high as $385 last time interest rates were low. Okay, and then back in November 2021, that's when it was kind of obvious that the Fed was going to pivot, and they were going to pivot by jacking up interest rates. Okay, and once the interest rates went up, it made it more difficult and more expensive for Upstart's clients, and for Upstart's customers to apply for loans. So the way they make money is they use AI to create loans. They don't hire loan officers and stuff like that. It's all done based on an algorithm. And this algorithm allows lower income individuals to basically get approved for loans. So this increases the bottom line for not only banks, but Upstart as well. So, the stock's been trading for a long base going on 3 years now. It's basically flatline. There's no movement here. And this is because this company is so dependent on interest rates. So when the Fed cuts interest rates, this will be one of the first stocks that you're going to see is going to pop. Because not only is it extremely interest rate sensitive, so when interest rates come down, more people are going to apply for loans, but it's heavily shorted. And actually all of the stocks I mentioned, MSTR, BMNR, and Upstart, are all being shorted, but Upstart, I believe, has the highest short interest out of all three of them. So I think it has some of the highest upside in terms of gains buying in September, but it also has some of the most risk. It's just extremely heavily shorted. So let's see here, according to MarketBeat, okay, yeah, it has a short interest of 23%, over 22 million shares sold short. So there's only 96 million shares outstanding in general, so the float's already kind of small. So this is a great stock to trade options with as well. All three of these stocks are great to trade options with as well. But this stock, I've always done pretty well trading trading UPST options when I nail them. But you just got to nail UPST options. Because when Upstart moves, it moves very aggressively. It can have massive days because of the low float and the high short interest, right? So not as many shares available and then a higher short interest. So I don't know. Last time the rates were really low, Upstart was traded at $300. Now it's at $68. Could it complete this gap? Maybe over the next year or two as rates start to come down and more people start to apply for loans and Upstart's revenue starts creeping up and its net income starts creeping up. I'm not sure. But I do know that it's definitely on my radar for its high short interest and its high upside and the favorability in the current environment that we're about to be transitioning to, which is a low interest rate environment from a higher interest rate environment. So that's it. I think, this one has the most risk. Personally, this is great for options. Great for options. I think this one's really going to pop and do quite well. So I would even buy leaps with this one. I wouldn't buy leaps with MSTR, or I wouldn't buy leaps with BMNR. I would probably buy calls expiring either in November, December, January, right around where people expect the crypto to peak. But this one's different. I would buy leaps. I would buy calls expiring at least a year in advance. 2026, 2027 calls look great for UPST. So that's it, guys. Those are my 3 plays. Let's go over them again real quickly. Number 1, MSTR. Number 1, Bitcoin Treasury Company on Wall Street. Bitcoin is expected to do well in Q4. BMNR, the number 1 Ethereum treasury company on Wall Street. Ethereum is expected to do well in Q4. And number 3, guys, Upstart, ticker symbol UPST. This is an AI lending company. Lower interest rates means higher lending activity. So that's all I got. Until, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like my content, give me a subscribe and let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this new format of just the best stocks that I'm targeting for the month? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll do my best to make videos like that in the future. So that's all I got until next time, guys. See you in the next one. Take care.